playoffs. There is no other team that could surprise right now. And you know what I love about the Hawks? They've been outplayed in most of their games. The Sixers, I'm going to throw a stat out. Alright? I'm about to give you a stat. So, with an 18-point lead in Game 4, that's an 85% win probability. And with a 25-point lead in Game 5, that's a 99.1% win probability. The Sixers had a 1 in 774 chance of losing to the Hawks. And they did it. They lost to the Hawks. 1 in 774 chance. But here's the thing. The Hawks, and that was to prove that not only were they outplayed in most of the games, but they were phenomenal in the last 7 minutes of games. That's where it is. That's the difference. That's what's bringing them to the Eastern Conference Finals. They are phenomenal in the final 7 minutes. That's what brings them to the finals right now. They would not be here if it weren't for the performance they're putting up in the last 7 minutes of games. Alright, so Rodgers renewed his membership at the Green Bay Country Club. Now, you guys are not going to like me here, because I always say, oh, don't overreact to this, don't read too much into that, all that. But this kind of tells me he's coming back to training camp. Because here's the thing. Green Bay has good weather for 3 months. Other than that, it's not very good. Let's look at the weather in Green Bay right now. So, okay, it's 70 right now in Green Bay. But there's, a lot of rain right now. That's what happens in, May and June. Green Bay has, a lot of rain. But it is warming up. But the best months to go to a country club in Green Bay, July through September. That's training camp right there. And, you really don't think this is a lot, but, if he's renewing his membership at the country club, I don't know. Keep it in your head right here, back of your mind. I'm telling you, this could. Look at this. I'm going to give you another example. Brady last year, and some people thought, oh, it's not a big deal, but he put his house up for sale. He put his house up for sale while he was on the market. And, he had lived there for a while. And he's putting his house up for sale. He ain't moving to another place in Boston. He's moving out of Boston completely. That was a sign he was leaving. We didn't know where, but we knew he was leaving. Aaron Rodgers. What, is he gonna... So he's just gonna go to the country club and not play for the team? That just doesn't make sense. I think this means he's coming back. I really do. Call me crazy, but I really do. Alright, so, obviously, again, after Tom Brady won another Super Bowl, speculation about when he's retiring is coming back. And he said that even for him, playing until 50 is tough. It's a stretch. It's a long time. But, hey, I don't know. Brady... And, I think I said this about Aaron Rodgers, I'm pretty sure. Or no, I said this when I was talking about Aaron Rodgers. I think football defines Brady. I think Brady is defined by football. I do, and that's why I think he's playing for so long, because I think Aaron Rodgers can play until 40. I think he can. He can play until 42, Aaron Rodgers. He just won MVP. He's got a lot of gas left in the tank. But I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to play till 42. I think he's going to play till 40 and then retire and do other things. So I think he has other interests. Because, again, he doesn't feel like Green Bay, doesn't feel like football. He's a California cool guy, you know? That's who he is. He's not defined by football. He's really good at it, but he's not defined by it. Oh, and there's the music. That's great. Perfect timing, too. But, Brady, I think he's defined by football, and a plus is that he takes amazing care of his body, which could take him a long way. Alright, so that's the end of the music there. Okay, so Mike Budenholzer, I saw a report that he's off the hot seat after making it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Now, coaches get blamed for losses a lot. They're a very good scapegoat. It's very easy to blame coaches for loss. Like last year, let's blame Doc Rivers for the Clippers not being clutch. Now, Doc Rivers, unfortunately, it's starting to gain some legs. I'm starting to I'm going to do Where Did I Go Wrong in actually next segment. And I'm going to talk about how I was wrong about him. But, I don't know if last year was really his problem. I think it was really... He said it was team chemistry. They just didn't play together. Doc Rivers said that. And he's right. They didn't play together. They didn't have chemistry, I mean, they have good players for the clutch. I mean, Kawhi can be clutch. PG can be clutch. It's just they don't have the chemistry. And look at this. Quinn Snyder's being blamed. I mean, obviously social media is attacking Rudy Gobert, but eventually it's going to get to the fact that it's Quinn Snyder. Oh, the reliable, constantly nominated for Coach of the Year, Quinn Snyder is suddenly a bum. Okay. Really the problem, and it wasn't the players either, they didn't have a wing to defend Kawhi or PG. So even when Kawhi was out, they couldn't defend PG because they didn't have a wing. So I mean, Snyder is a damn good coach. That's not the problem right now. It's the wing. They gotta have a wing there. But I really don't think coaches should be blamed for a personal deficiency. Like Doc Rivers last year and this year, actually, it's a personal deficiency. The team chemistry was a personal deficiency. It was out of his control. Simmons can't shoot. Personal deficiency. He has a point guard that can't shoot. What is he supposed to do with that? But I don't think coaches should be blamed as much as they are. I think there are some times where they are, in fact, a problem. 2 or 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago? Luke Walton was being blamed for the Lakers' struggles. And obviously, they fired him, picked up Frank Vogel, and he brought them to the finals. So, that was obviously the problem there. But, it's... coaches, you gotta really watch the game here, because make sure you're not blaming coaches for a personal deficiency. That's really easy to do for a lot of people. because the coaches are supposed to be in control of the team, right? But they can control a personal deficiency. That's out of their hands. Whether it's a jump shot or not having a wing defender. Not having a player is the GM's problem. They got to get the players. The coaches, their problem is making sure the players are doing the right thing and they're not running a terrible game plan. That's the coach's problem. You got to watch that. It's hard to spot. All right, now we're going to do Where Did I Go Wrong? Here we go. All right, so the Hawks beat the 76ers. Obviously, I was dead wrong about that. Obviously, Ben Simmons. I've been saying, Ben Simmons... And, Ben Simmons has value. He's a great defender, a great passer. He's a lot like Draymond Green. He doesn't have a jump shot. He's not really known as a great scorer, but he's a great passer. He's a great defender. He has value, but unfortunately, and I was trying to be positive about him, but unfortunately the flaws he has just outweigh the positives. And it would be lovely to see a Hawks-Suns finals, but I think it's going to be Hawks versus Bucks right now. Or no, Bucks versus... I think it's Bucks versus Suns, honestly. That's my prediction right now. Anyway, Doc Rivers, I just defended him, but now I'm going to crap on him. He has now lost 9 Game 7s. Now, I still don't think you should blame a coach for a personnel deficiency. But, when you start losing 9 Game 7s, it does start to gain some legs. Okay, maybe it's not entirely the player's fault that you're losing. Alright. Now on to the Bucks-Nets series. I thought when they were down 2-0 that Giannis was... he just wasn't... He was just a guy that just can't get it done in the playoffs. And I was defending him for a while, LeBron didn't make a finals until year 8. Jordan didn't make a finals until year 7, So give him time, but now he's in year 7, or I think he's in year 8, actually. And, he started to not play well against them, and I was like, maybe he's just one of those guys that just can't get it done. But then he went on to... And yes, I know they were injured, but Giannis still... He went on to average 32 on the Nets. He did a great job. He shot very well from the field. And he... I think what he did in Game 7 was perfect. He didn't try to shoot threes. I thought that was a problem. And I said this about AD, too. AD was trying to do the same thing. I was like, bro, go down low. That's your thing. He went down low. He scored 2 straight 30-plus games. Alright, so finally... Or actually, no. I got 2 more. So the Clippers dominated without Kawhi. I thought without Kawhi they'd be... I didn't think they'd lose, but I didn't think they'd win 2 games in a row in what looked like a pretty simple fashion. Sure, it wasn't a blowout, but it looked pretty easy for them. They just seemed like they were in control. It felt a little weird. So I was dead wrong about that. And finally, the Padres, up until their 5-game winning streak, they had dropped, they were 1-7 in the last 8. So they were on a skid. But, unfortunately, that is done now, and now that Where Did I Go Wrong is very invalid. But, alright. That's it for Where Did I Go Wrong? Actually, we're going to jump right into music afterward, in the music segment, so I'm going to go into that. Embiid mentioned Simmons passing up on an open shot against Trae Young, as a turning point in the game. And, you know,